Language Arts friends, we are coming to the end of our argumentative writing unit with a little advanced concept called counter arguments. So this is lesson 6, counter arguments. Let's get started. What is a counter argument? Haven't we already talked about arguments? What do you mean counter argument? There's something else I have to include? Yes. A counter argument is an argument that is issued in response to someone else's arguments to show that the claim is somehow incorrect. For example, if you have an essay about how cat videos are the funniest thing on the internet, a counter argument would be that the baby seal videos are actually the ones that are the best. So how do we use counter arguments? First, acknowledge them. Address the opposing viewpoints with respect. Then you're going to offer a rebuttal. You respond with the reasons why the counter argument is weak, using words like however and although. And then you're going to give some evidence. Provide examples or evidence to show why the counter argument is unsound when compared to your argument. What's the purpose? Why do we have to put someone else's argument? Isn't this all about your position? Well, providing a counter argument in your essay shows the reader you know and understand that there are other positions, and you have considered them. This will give you credibility, and it can strengthen your own argument because you can point out what the other side is saying and then say, yeah, but this is why they're wrong, or this is why my side is better, my opinion's better. So some important notes about counter arguments. First, the counter argument should be brief with just one point. Don't list out every opposing viewpoint, just pick one. And this is not a compare-contrast essay. You're not writing about two different claims. So you're not writing about why cat videos are the best thing on the internet and why baby seal videos are the best thing on the internet. No, you're just writing about why cat videos are the best thing. So you briefly introduce that one point. You briefly discuss the counter argument and then you quickly refute it. And then use language that shows the counter argument is not your position. So, for example, you would say something like, opponents might argue that, or critics would say, or some people think, something like that shows that it's not your viewpoint. So, how do you respond to a counter argument? You can discredit it by using research to show it is false. You can agree the point is valid, but your point is stronger. Or immediately provide evidence, explanations, and examples to support your argument. So let's look at this counter argument. What we're going to do here is we're going to highlight the counter argument, bold the rebuttal, underline the evidence, and change the font color of those key transition words. So let's get started. Some people might argue that if employees continue to work remotely, that they will not be as productive. Distractions at home could keep them from doing the job as well as they would if they were in the office. However, a study that analyzed production from a call center found that productivity increased 13% when the employees worked from home. This shows that employees can be responsible for their output when working remotely. So if you have the guided notes that go along with this, you can pause the video and work on your guided notes or your Google slide. If you're just watching the YouTube video, just pause it and you can write out what you think is the counter argument, the rebuttal, the evidence, and the key transition words. So go ahead and get started. All right, we are back. So let's see how you did. So first, this is the counter argument. Some people might argue that if employees continue to work remotely, they will not be as productive. That's the counter argument. And then how did we know that? Well, I knew that by this statement right here. Some people might argue. So I'm actually going to change that because that is what we consider a transition. Distractions at home could keep them from doing the job as well as they could if they were in the office. This is explaining the counter argument. However, look at that. That is a transition word. So I'm going to change the color of that. This shows that we are getting ready to switch sides. We're going from the counter argument back to our claim. A study that analyzed production from a call center found that productivity increased 13% when the employees worked from home. That sounds like some evidence, so we're going to underline that. This shows the employees can be responsible for their output when working remotely. And that, my friends, is our rebuttal. So yay, that is a counter argument. I want to encourage you to use a counter argument in your argumentative writing essay. So I like to put it after the third body paragraph, right before the conclusion. I think it's a great place. Some people like to put it at the beginning. It's your choice of where you want to put it. But I do encourage you to put one somewhere because it shows the reader that you have considered all positions, but yours is the strongest. All right, if you would like the guided notes and the other activities that go along with Lesson 6, like the mentor tags and the practice activities, click the link below. Otherwise, hang around for Lesson 7 where we wrap this thing up and talk about conclusion paragraphs. Until then,